So the picture that you see on your screen is of a young lady. Her name is DESHA Kruff, known in the street as Drama. Drama is a scripper. She works in the script clubs, shaking her ASS for the bucks. The bleach out, beautiful, sometimes blonde, is what we call the atypical young lady in a Jamaica. Them like bad man in a them hole. When they assess the risk reward, because they think that these men, them bring clout, them bring money, them bring flossing, they bring that celebrity superstar lifestyle. However, it is just fool's gold because most of the time they end up in the earths 6'6" in some very despicable way, as in the case of what happened to Drama maybe about a day or two ago in a place called Mandeville. She was pretty much found laying on the street, the victim of a DRIVE by her boyfriend, criminal element, scammer, him Tekwa himself. Typical of situations whenever they go for the target and them catch Quacker because them can't catch the shot, or them catch the shot because them can't catch Quacker. People, don't you realize in most cases, 99% of the time, whenever they go for the target, it is always the persons that are in their company, because the target always knows for Tekwa himself. He knows and recognizes danger, and whenever said persons senses those danger, them Tekwa themselves call it the instincts of criminality. Now I know that in most cases, these men, when them have these ladies such as Drama, them probably tell her, say, baby, you know, say, me live certain lifestyle. But trust me, me nah make anything happen to you. If anything goes down, if the ops pull up, them have got to take me with to. People, in most cases, we see that is not the case. Most of the time, the only way that the young lady lives is because she probably set it up. In 99% of the cases, she gets the SHITTY end of the stick. Such is the case in this case. Now, women out there that have aspirations of being the wife, side chick of gangsters, here are the facts. A lot of these men, them only want the lady because of PUMS, because of the HEADS. They are there for the entertainment purposes, the entertainment value only. So therefore, they are easily replaceable. Call them disposable pums or heads. They are the atypical BITCH. So don't think that this man is going to jeopardize his life, lose his life trying to save you. Whenever the ops pull up, it is pretty much every man, woman for themselves. In this case, she was not able to outrun the ops. So therefore, she ended up on her face, flat out in a pool of her own, BLOOD. And what I've come to realize in a lot of cases is that these women don't understand that most of these gangsters, they are broke. They are living hand to mouth, worse than the typical average Jamaican. They are down most of the time that they are up than they are up. They are not really hustlers. They don't have any sorts of steady, sustainable income. So therefore, them not have no game, like me say, them are live hand to mouth, so they are living like gamblers. A lot of times, if anything goes down, which it usually do, it is a family that have to bury them. So therefore, if them cannot stand their own expenses, even in a lot of cases, these men are with strippers, as in the case of Drama, and Drama is actually footing the bill. Them a tell her, say, listen, as soon as my bingo, which is going to be next week, next year, it is all a bunch of promises, and you know exactly what they say about promises. It is a comfort to a fool. The truth and the fact is that these people cannot provide a safe environment for their significant other, because they cannot provide a safe environment for themselves, because these people, in most cases, they are SHITTING where they live. They are creating chaos and catastrophe in the same neighborhood in which they rest their head and also their girlfriend. So therefore, it is always going to bring all sorts of heat. What is even worse, most of the time the ops are friends that turn enemy, call them friend enemy. They know where the mother live, they know where the father live, they know where the girlfriend live, they know where the girlfriend works, as in the case as drama. She was KILLED, a couple city blocks from the club in which she scripts and shows the PUMS. And the harsh reality is that it is hard for you to live any sorts of gangster life in a Jamaica, because Jamaica is just too DAMN small. So therefore, it is like fishing in a bucket. And what is even worse, these people, they are like chinks. Everywhere that they go, they like to show up themselves. So therefore, because of the hype and all the fully doneness and foolishness, stupidness, they are always going to stand out like some sorts of sore thumb. The truth and the fact is that most of these youths, they are no sorts of gangsters, they are bums, they are cruff. Because a real gangster and people, I am not idolizing or promoting any sorts of gangsterism, but me just say, a man that has his thing going for him, he is not going to keep his family, his kids in harm's way. He is going to SHIT out of where he live. He is going to make sure that even if he takes his family and his girlfriend, significant other somewhere, it is going to be like some sorts of outer place in which you know that the enemy more than likely is not going to show up. I am not going to guarantee that it cannot happen, but me just say the law of possibility and probability may be in your favor. However, when you are broke like a joke, you do not have such options. So therefore, you are at risk. So at the end of the day, the moral of the story is this. All you sketalinas out there, worthless women that have aspirations of being the kept women of some sorts of bum cruff gangster. Just know that when you analyze, assess the risk reward, there is actually no sorts of silver lining behind any of those dark clouds. It is going to be doom and gloom. Call it fool's gold. And like I've always said, a wise man and woman learns from their mistakes. Wiser man or woman learns from the mistakes of others. I hope that you women, Sketalina in the making out there, learns from drama's drama. However, people, the truth and the fact is that based on the YouTube's analytics, the people that need to listen the most is the persons that listen the least. They are too busy listening to videos about who are SUCKO or FUCKO. They are not focusing on what they need to learn, the lessons, the message in the battle. They are more interested in a mix-up, passa. So therefore, that is why they always find themselves in a mix-up, passa, in a all sorts of SHIT, point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we've seen that the criminal elements have coined some phrases that have become very popular in the criminal network. It goes something like this: I would rather to be tried by a jury of 12 than to be carried in by 6, meaning at the funeral or pallbearer, them call it. There's also a next saying: it is better to be caught with it and not need it than to need it and don't have it. Something like that. They are talking about that gun for the insurance policy whenever the ops are even more importantly the po-po pull up. These people seems as if they have no sorts of problem in engaging the po-po special ops in any sorts of SHOOT out. Even though most of the time, based on the side of the po-po, it is not truth, it is controversial. The po-po have coined some phrase for themselves. One of those phrases, they were fatally arrested. The next one in, bring them in vertically or horizontally. Let the chips fly where they may. There was a final send-off for a constable that was taken out on the duty. His name is Mr. Fairclough, Constable Fairclough, that is. Now, at this final send-off, the person who is now the new chairman of the Popo Federation, I think her name is Miss McBean, she said, listen, do not let these criminal elements take you out. You are properly trained to use force, whatever deems to be necessary for safeguard your life and safeguard the public. If you have to take them in vertically or horizontally, then that is exactly what you need to do. Take a look to exactly what she had to say, and then I am going to give my piece.
I'm going to use this platform as a leader to encourage every single rank and file members when the criminal comes in like a flood. Under the Spirit of God, use your training and the necessary and justifiable preemptive strike against them, and then take them in, whether vertically or horizontally, before the halls of justice, and let them be dealt with in accordance to the law.
So people, you heard the views of the new chairman of the Popo Federation. She is or they will carry you in horizontally or vertically. You know exactly what that means. Vertically, meaning that you are going to the court, let the system deal with you. Horizontally, meaning you're dip on your back, dip on your face, depending on how it goes after the smoke clear, meaning SHOOT out. With the Popo, that is always going to be controversial. Now, people, when they amended the new Firearm Act, it was to deter the criminals because they thought that, well, if we tell them people, say we are give them a minimum mandatory 15 years, it might discourage them to do any sorts of criminal work. But the truth and the fact is that it pretty much backfired. It did the polar opposite that it was supposed to do. It only made these criminals more daring, brawling, desperate. So in most cases, we see that in their desperate attempt to avoid the fresh 15 minimum mandatory sentence, which can be superseded if you pie up after the Popo, they seems as if they are going to take their chances in some sorts of SHOOT outs. However, in most cases, it is an exercise in futility, meaning it usually ends up FATALLY. For the criminal, they always end up SHITS creek without any sorts of paddle, in a very bad predicament. Now there's a saying that goes something like this: desperate times calls for desperate measures. And we've seen a lot of these cases in which the Popo go for these men with some sorts of warrant, DEATH warrant that is. People say it is controversial, it is always conflicting the side of the Popo that is on the operation and also the residents or family member. But people, like me say, desperate times calls for desperate measure. A win is a win is a win. If you realize that the method that are being implemented before take them through the court system is not working, it is an epic failure. Therefore, you will have to resort to more desperate measures. So therefore, the Popo realize that, listen, regardless of what Indicom has to say, Indicom's investigation. The Popo has told himself that, listen, we don't care what is going to happen the aftermath. We do not care. We are going to take out these people with the DEATH warrant. Even if them are beg, even if them have them little juvenile in them lap, we are going to take them out same way and put the juvenile out of harm's way. Sometimes the juvenile might get it too. The police have come to the realization that it is their word against ours. So if we don't even have any sorts of justification, if there's no actual SHOOT out, we shall manufacture one and say this is what happened. Our squaddies are going to collaborate the story. Everything is going to be synchronized. So therefore, we are going to make sure that we take out this individual once and for all. Justice needs to be served on the spot. They are going to be the judge, the jury, and most important, the execution, executing that DEATH warrant. So like the saying goes, he that refuses to change acclimatizes to the new environment. The times have changed. It is now the acceptable norm, like it is written like the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt dieth. Not for what you did when the poor comes for you with that DEATH warrant. You will DIE because of your past. So therefore the past is going to come back and haunt you. Dup you, fly your butts. So that means that even when you see the family members, the resident, them a cry to Indicom, Lord, them KILL a innocent youth, him not do nothing, he might have 100 million, all sorts of SHOOTING and a couple dozen MURDER. He did not have any sorts of tool on him on the time that the poor came. The poor KILLED him in a cold BLOOD. Yes, Indicom is going to act as if they are investigating, but the truth and the fact is that based on the desperate situation that we live in, Indicom's hand is tied behind them. So therefore, they are going to come take some sorts of statement, act as if they care. But the truth and the fact is that based on the recent history, based on what we see, the new trend, this investigation or statement is going to end up in some sorts of dead end. Just like this person end up in some sorts of dead end for confronting the poor in some sorts of alleged SHOOT out. Dead end, literally. Nothing is going to come out of it. Point blank and period.
Indeterminate, you know, say that happening.
He's having my check for him, right?
I'll pitch him, I'll try to pitch him down.
Of course, you would have it, and I can probably talk to them,
Back,
right?
slow, brother.
Watch out!
Why?
Jesus Christ! Yo, look here. Jesus Christ!
License around. Yeah, you might be my fight him. I'm going to see you take up now 5. I got me a look 15 take up now.
Look on near NCB to the station and them never can catch you working at NCB.
So people, the edited version of the video that you just watched is of an incident that took place in a place called Pepper that is in St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth is supposed to be the breadbasket capital farming community of Jamaica. It is also notorious for weed hustling. It is also notorious for bikes that are illegal, not registered, no sorts of license, insurance, fitness, or registration. So therefore, a lot of times, these bikes come through the GUNS for DRUGS, bikes for weed, you can call it. In this case, the poor summons 2 man on a bike for pull over stop. They decided that they were going to outrun, speed off. However, when you have some sort of lame yang and versus these new poor bike, it is going to be disadvantageous for you. Such is the case. It seems as if the poor them really kick wet the back wheel, cause these person to CRASH in some sorts of bushes, and the part that you did not see, the poor them bail off of them bike and commence to clotting these youth with the new extender button. People, them they look very hot. Now people, the force used by the poor might have been excessive. However, sometimes them say, a hard ears make for a soft ASS. So therefore, if you can't learn, you might feel. Because the truth and the fact is that these young men could have endangered other persons, pedestrians on the road, other motorists, cause some sort of ACC, IDENT, cause the popo them to lose them life. So you know, so the popo, they are going to be ticked off very badly. Such is the case. The sad thing about this is that, like me say, after them bail off of the bike, the popo that is, they commenced to clot in one of the youth that was on the ground. People, it look as if he got some sort of lick in the head, and it seems as if he had some sort of fit. He was pretty much vibrating, jerking like some sort of new old phone when them just come in at Jamaica. Them a vibrate like them depend vibrator. People, it looked very bad for this youth. Looked like he was going to DIE. Don't know the final outcome. Moral of the story is this. Don't go from bad to worse. Do not put yourself in a very bad predicament from a half bad predicament. It makes absolutely no sorts of sense. However, I guess when you feel like you're going to get away, people, they made a decision, they made a gamble, and they were wrong. And it came back to haunt them. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.